y'all. So let's talk about a few things. I want to talk about this girl from Poland who has come forth and is claiming to be Madeline McCann, or she's not claiming, but she thinks she could be. But first, I just want to send out some love to Martin, to Helen, to Frankie Jr., Sandra, and Frank. I've seen a lot. Well, actually, I don't see it. I just get this stuff secondhand. But, I know that there's been a lot of slanderous and mean stuff said about them. And I don't understand. Listen, I get people being frustrated with the Crowd Justice Fund and having questions. Like, I understand that. I understand being critical to a point. But I think there's a fine line between being critical and just being mean and vile and hateful and seeming like you have a personal vendetta because you were slighted in some way. That just, how old are we? How old are we? And this family has been through so much. So can we not afford them a little grace, a little kindness? If you want to question them, you have every right to do that. But can we just do it in a way that's not so hurtful? Although I really don't think, I don't think Frankie Jr.'s bothered. I think he's out living his life and doing his thing. And I believe him when he says that things are happening. I take him at his word. I have no reason not to. So, but to each his own. As for Helen and Martin, I know that they're getting a lot of hate as well. And listen, with Martin can dish it out. He can give as good as he gets, okay? And Martin hasn't, in my opinion, always, he can get down in the gutter if he needs to. But with Helen, this woman, I've never seen her go low. I've never seen her insult someone's looks or try to slander anyone or be cruel. And that, to me, says a lot about her character. She's a beautiful woman. So for those of you who are body shaming her and talking about her looks, are you jealous? Because she's beautiful. And not only is she beautiful on the outside, but she's beautiful on the inside too. Maybe that's where the jealousy comes from, that beautiful on the inside part. Maybe. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. So let's talk a little bit about Julia from Poland, who thinks she could be Madeline McCann, and the psychic who has been helping her. So if you're not familiar with the Madeline McCann case, Madeline was a 3-year-old little girl back in 2007 who disappeared from her parents' vacation apartment in Portugal. The mom and dad had left Madeline and her siblings in the apartment to go to a restaurant, which wasn't too far from where their apartment was. And apparently some of their friends, maybe this was a thing that they did, that they would leave their kids and then they would take turns going and, checking on them. And they've gotten a lot of grief from that. And I do understand that criticism because it was a very irresponsible thing to do. When they came back the last time, Madeline was gone. She just disappeared. Some people, want to point the finger at the parents, saying that, well, perhaps, they gave Madeline cold medicine. They overdosed. She overdosed on it. When they came back, she was dead. They hid her in the freezer. Then they disposed of her body, which never made a whole lot of sense to me because her parents are doctors. And I think, first of all, I don't think they would dose her like that. But if they did, I think they would know the amount to give her. And they were in a foreign country, I don't think they had spent a lot of time in. Maybe it was their first time there. So how are they going to know where to dispose of her body? I just always thought that was ludicrous. But other people think that maybe she woke up in the middle of the night. Mom and dad weren't there. She went looking for them. She fell in the ocean. She drowned. Or she encountered some nefarious type who took her. Some people think that the apartment was broken into and she was taken. Anyway, fast forward to today, and this girl who thinks that she's Madeline. Now, here's the thing. Julia has said that she has mental health issues. Her mother has said she has mental health issues. She looks just like her mother. If you see a picture side by side of her and her mother, she looks very much like her. The McCanns they won't know part of the DNA test. So, I don't know. I feel sorry for this girl, though, because I really get the sense that she believes that she could be Madeline. I don't think she's doing this as a hoax or to get attention. However, this woman who's helping her, the psychic, I'm not really sure that she has this girl's best interest at heart. She's very confrontational with this girl's parents. She's saying stuff like, well, I'm going to force them to have a DNA test. Really, lady? How are you going to do that? So I don't know. I would like to believe that, she genuinely cares about Julia and she wants to help her, but I'm skeptical. I really am. So we shall see how this plays out. Julia's getting a lot of hate online. People are saying, this is a hoax. You're a horrible person. And again, I don't think that's her intention. And so, I always talk about this, but I just wish that we could afford people a little grace, that we would have the ability to put ourselves in their shoes to see what they were going through. Even with people that I don't like, and I don't like on a fundamental level, I try to understand their point of view. I try to see where they're coming from, and I try to extend grace to them. Because I think that's what they need. People who are really hateful and bitter, I think they need love and they need grace. And maybe a kick in the butt too, but anyway. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think. And I'm going to just hush because I'm rambling as usual. Y'all have to understand, I don't have a script. So this is just off the top of my head. And my mind goes 90 miles an hour. So I do apologize if I stumble sometimes over my words. Anyway, until next time, y'all, be well.